like to welcome all the participants to this third Global Math Project webinar that is all about the Exploding Dots experience. My name is Samuel Saint-Amour, and I will be the moderator or the helper for the webinar tonight. I know your hosts are ready to start the webinar, but just before we start, I just wanted to say a few things. Basically, if you have questions, make sure you type them in the question box that you can see at the bottom left where James just wrote bonsoir. Also, if you have technical difficulties, same thing, you can type them in the chat and I will make sure to help you as good as I can. And should we run into technical issues, hang on and we'll try to get everything back as fast as we can. And now I'll let James introduce the special guest for tonight.
Well, good evening, everyone. Well, first I have to say, clearly our chat box is going to be international, so no English, please, in the chat box. There must be some language other than English, apparently. I guess I set that trend. Good evening, one and all, and I am thrilled to have our special guest here. He's been my best friend forever, who I met just last week, but he's a fabulous fellow. It is Luc Gautreau from Scolab, who is the mastermind behind making Exploding Dots a pleasurable experience for one and all. Well, I shouldn't say he's the mastermind. The whole team is a mastermind, but he's the one that's going to bring it to the world and share his enthusiasm and thrills about this experience, the rollout experience of Global Math Week 2017. So I cannot wait for October 10th, 2017 for Exploding Dots to come to the world, and then to do it all again with these fabulous folks for 2018 with a brand new topic, 2019 with again another brand new topic, and so on. So, without further ado, let me introduce Luc, my best friend, who I met in San Antonio at NCSM last Tuesday. What does NCSM stand for, my friend?
It is, what is that again? National Consultant, say it again, National Consultant, Specialist. I'm close, huh?
You're very close.
Help me out with this one.
Council of Supervisors of Mathematics. These are all the teachers that help other teachers think about teaching mathematics in the creative, joyful way that should be done in the K-12 world.
I forgot about the letters, but I remember about all the beautiful people we met there. That was a cool time. Yeah, that was the best part. We had a great time together, by the way. Showing Global Math Project to the TRC, which is the Texas Regional Collaboratives. So that was a great time to share some ideas with new people regarding Global Math Project, like this webinar. So I'm pretty excited to be here also tonight. Thanks for the presentation, James. I feel a little bit like someone special. That's pretty cool.
and just so it's not so no one feels left out, we also have Sunil here, of course, who's fabulous co-collaborator, master ambassador for the Global Math Project, who connects all sorts of people together in brilliant ways. So there's a whole team here. So what a thrilling team of three fine gentlemen.
So, Luc, do you want to introduce yourself right now, or do you want me to give you a lead-in question? And how do you want to do this?
I think I'm going to explain a little bit why I'm here, because obviously I'm the guest tonight. So
yes, Luc, who are you? Tell us who you are.
So I'm lucky enough to be responsible regarding everything that is related to meeting teachers, meeting district, Minister of Education, working close to with the students, the teachers. Since 2004, we've been developing our platforms to release the joy of learning math, which is basically the reason why tonight I'm here with you. It's because Global Math Project for us was a no-brainer decision. It was just a normal and perfect fit for us at this time. You know, since 2004, once again, we've been developing, designing, translating, gamifying our platform, and with the Global Math Project that is here to revisit the way we teach math, the way we talk about math, making math more meaningful. So for us, it was a way to go all around the world and help people doing math, help teachers, help students. So for us, it was a perfect fit, and it makes us, so our specialization is also regarding the design, the objects, the manipulation, and this is what you're going to see tonight. So we're going to show you some part of Exploding Dot, the machine, the island. Yeah. It's still hot. It's just getting out of the oven. So we're pretty excited about that. So it's all about having fun doing math, That's what leads Collab where we are right now with Global Map Project, and I think this is the perfect fit for the mission, the vision. So we love people, we want to help, and the way you present Global Map Project, James, for us, it was so attractive. So that's why we're here, and that's why Sunil also. So I have the pleasure to work with Sunil every day, and also now with you, James. So that's perfect. That's a perfect combination right now. So I'd like Sunil to show some images, and I know guys can comment about it because people want to know it, I'm pretty sure. So everybody just ask question in the bottom left if you have, and I'll let the lead to Sunil for the rest of it.
Sure.
I
so
cannot wait to see these images.
Okay, so you're gonna have to wait. You're probably gonna have to wait about 60 seconds more because before. No, hang on. Before I actually show the images, I do want to give a question. It's sort of a question to toss back and forth between you and Luke, because James, I know this exploding dots. This is your baby. This is what you sort of have been working on for many, many years. It was just simply dots from a visual point of view, and for Scolab, I'm just trying to wonder, like, what was sort of, Luke, do you think the company's vision of what they wanted to do with exploding dots, something they just saw for the first time last year? What do you think they could give to this project so the experience that 1 million people have this coming October would be the experience that I think James was always hoping for in mathematics?
That's a great question, and when you were asking the question, I was still picturing Pierre, which is PY at the office. It's our
yes.
content director, and I remember the first time he represented exploding dots instead of being dots. It was because at the office we always have this cinnamon art. I don't know, I think it was because of the V days, Valentine days, something like that. So it was representing exploding dots with cinnamon art. So that's pretty funny. And so, like I said, in the last year, so I don't know if a lot of people knows that, but our first 4 years at Scolab, we had 2 offices. So it looks cool, but let's define those offices. One was a student desk in classroom, live programming, and the other one was not on the 22nd floor of the building. It was on the basement. So the first 4 year was going from classroom to basement to classroom to basement, trying to improve the platform, the design. And at the right beginning, we had GP, which is our design creator, design director, creative director. So everything that you see, the images and stuff like that, have been, by the way, drawn by hand by Mathieu.
Really?
And yeah, when you see the avatar and stuff like that, so people, if you go on our website, you'll see a lot of avatar, a lot of images. So everything has been drawn by hand from Mathieu. So I think that what we wanted to do with Global Map Project is to take our experience, our specialization, and use it to make sure that when you go on Global Map Project, when you see those wonderful ideas of how we present math with exploding dots, we wanted it to be meaning, like, people go on it and the design. And once again, I think that Sunil, when you're going to show our design, you will see this is something, the color, you don't want to leave the page. Once you're in exploding dots, I know I've been on it. I know nobody went already, but I've been on, and you just don't want to leave this place. And yeah, I think that math should always fit with art.
You're saying you're going to have a double whammy, that you won't want to leave the page because of aesthetic reasons, because just the beauty of it, and you won't want to leave the page because of the intellectual reasons, because of the mathematics of it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
People
something
are
like that. Okay, show the images. Show the images.
Okay. So
Wonderful.
this is where I'm going to do my little part. And to be honest, this, for me, and I've told Luke this, and I think I've told you, James, it has a very warm Pixar feel. And I was as a kid growing up, I loved Disney, and sometimes you would see those individual cells autographed by the animator of what the particular scene looked like. And, they hold a sentimental and, financial value if you have one of those cells. And anytime I see these individual images, it evokes that same kind of emotion, like I'm seeing a sneak peek of a movie which is going to be coming out.
Okay, okay, enough teasing. Tell me, show me, show
okay.
me.
Here we go. Okay, so we're all I love it. So of course, here's the first image we're seeing. Alfred in the balloon. This is what he's going to be doing. Is traveling around the world, and you can see all those dots, which are representing all the places people have signed up. But the actual experience now.
Let me say one. Let me say one thing right now, which I just love about this. What you've done is magically combined Scholab and the Global Math Project. I mean, that balloon is our logo, the uplifting of mathematics, and that fellow is your fellow in it too. It's a lovely combination of the two worlds. Brilliant.
Perfect. And so now the images I'm going to show you are the actual images people will start to see once they go to the registration page and the actual interaction. So here we go. So this is what the Auntie Dot Island will look like in terms of an overall image.
Ooh.
I mean, we've taken the simple dots, we have things lifting out of them. It's almost like something's being taken away. So this is like our Auntie Dot Island. So right away you can tell the image.
Island number 3, if I remember correctly.
I think it is island number 3. Yeah. Actually, you can do a perfect voiceover anytime you want to sort of.
And by the way, people that don't know about yet about Exploding that are attending the webinar right now because they want to know more about that, just want to invite them to go to theglobalmathproject.org, and they will be able to know more about those islands from the James materials.
Correct. So we have a trail of 9 islands, and each island has different stations to explore. And Arithmos, I believe, is island number 2, if I recall correctly.
And this is where I think you maybe want to talk about, because these islands have familiar but somewhat quirky names. I think this is your idea. I want you to come in at this point and talk about why you want to name the islands sort of in a non-traditional fashion.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's create the mindset, because basically the mission of Exploding Dots is to tell a beautiful, human, joyous story of mathematics, but also to come to see mathematics all you thought you already knew in a brand new, surprising light. So in which case, that lovely little blend of something familiar but also not familiar, it's exactly the wonderful space we want to explore in our intellectual exploration of this mathematics, but also on a personal, sort of visceral one. Come to see mathematics like all you thought you knew, but in a way you've never seen it before, which is just beautiful. The combination of the familiar with the unexpected is beautiful. Divisia. I might be able to guess what that island's about.
Divisia. Yeah, it's. I think, and I'm going to be curious as to when students, I mean kids, because that's who we are targeting, what their sort of reaction is going to be with this sort of familiar, unfamiliar. I think it's going to strike the right balance.
Nice. So the idea here is, if I'm guessing, oh my goodness, look at that.
Oh yes.
So each island has a number of stations, and each island has 2 or 3 actual part of the storyline to go click on and do a little experience there. But also 2 or 3 side stations that if you get so immersed in the type of thinking that's going on that particular topic, in Auntie Dot, you're learning about Auntie Dots for the first time, there's side explorations you can do. So, feel free to dwell, take your time, go on side tangents, or just go whip your way through it, go all the way along. Whatever your desire is to encounter your mathematics, go for it. And that's what these islands are trying to entice and encourage. Whatever your personal style is, go for it. Be it linear, non-linear, back and forth. Brilliant.
And one of the great challenge we had so far with the whole Exploding Dots machine and also with the island, it was really cool to dig into it. It was simplifying everything that is related to word. So trying to take off a maximum of words and make sure that we can instead do something that is really UX or UI, which is the user experience or the user interface which involve less words, a minimum of words, and put it more into visual, so kids can go into this platform and just right away, even without even if they don't read, they can just go on it and be able to follow the flow of the machine. That was one of the part that we loved at the office. It was challenging us, and it was just something really great to go through. altogether.
Yeah, I actually I have this secret ambition to one day make this completely wordless. Let's just really show that mathematics transcends our humanness and really is a universal experience. You know, I mean, obviously we're trying to be the global math project. We have different languages, so it'd be nice to avoid words in a very practical sense for everyone, but also on sort of on a sort of philosophical sense. Let's show that mathematics truly is an experience beyond our own humanness.
I'll challenge
Well,
the team.
Well, I
Yeah, do
think
that.
this is a, I mean, that's a nice sort of compromise we have so far, that I'm glad that we took the sort of challenge to really minimize the instruction in another language besides math, and we really want the kids' curiosity and sort of, perseverance to take over. And I think we've done a nice sort of initial go around, and I'm sure in the years to come, you're not going to see any words, and it'll be just pictures and, interaction.
And one
Uh,
thing important that we don't see right now, but because it's in English, and I think we're gonna have like it's already like James, we're at around 200 Global Math Project ambassadors from 45 countries, something like that. So a lot of people speaks in English, a lot of people speaks in French, but also people from all around the world. And right now, a work that we do that will not be like easy to see, but it's something that is like it needs to be done. We're trying to develop a platform also to help people to translate in their language. So if you're watching this webinar right now, you speak in English, but your first language is something else than English or French, and that you teach in another language, just know that we are developing right now the tools so you can, if you want to become a global math project ambassador, that will be great. And if you want to help your country, your community, to do it in your own language, just once again head to the globalmathproject.org, and there will be a lot of information to become ambassador and translate everything for your community.
And there's something that, I mean, okay, I talked about transcending one's our humanness, but the other thing is that I want to also make the point that mathematics is a very human story, so how's that for contradicting myself? And the way to make that very potent is to experience the story in your own language. That's actually very, very compelling. And we'd love to do that, bring the story to as many languages as possible. Obviously, I've written this sort of the entire book of mathematics behind the Exploding Dots story, which is sort of the basis of all the math presented here in the web experience. And we've got some ambassadors already translating that book material into different languages. We've got Mandarin underway, we've got Croatian underway, and we've got Serbian underway. And I know folks are looking at other languages too right now.
And French, and that's so exciting.
Oh, magnifique! And that's great. But there's more than 5 languages in this world. Let's go for the 45 ambassadors from different countries to help out with the different languages there. Because there's something very personal about seeing it in a native tongue. That's very lovely, very potent, and important.
So the image that I have on the screen, it seems like kind of a bare bones image, but it's really going to be the portal to, what everybody's going to experience, in the fall. So we have this, looks like the image of the skeleton. It really is the skeleton of the Exploding Dots machine. There's going to be much more visuals coming in, and in about 15, 20 seconds, I'm going to show you a prototype, almost an alpha version of the functionality of what this machine can do. So
Neil, I don't believe you. 60 seconds last time took about 4 minutes. 15 to 20 seconds means about 2 minutes.
Remember what Luke said, that you and I could keep talking? I could keep talking on my own, right?
I know.
The curse of being a Gemini. So, anyways, I'm a recovering Gemini. This is the aesthetic of which is linked to previous images in terms of color, design, what the Exploding Dots machine is going to look like. So now I'm going to take you out of this, and I'm going to show everyone, for probably most people, the first time, what the machine actually looks like and how it's going to work. So this is going to be the cool part. So I'm just going to share my screen, control.
Yes, do a quick security scan while we're at it. Yep.
So it's not the final design, so everyone knows this is the first draw we did. Yes. And the last picture you've seen will be the next design.
So this is probably like maybe six months old, but at the very least, we want people to see. And I've played this machine probably now close to over 50 times, and it still feels somewhat magical to me because I know the reactions that will elicit from people when they see it. So right now, you've got some boxes, you got a question mark, and you got some icons up here. And right now, it's set in something, as James likes to refer to, as a 2-1 machine. And I'm just going to click on, this also works great on a smart board. So I'm just going to load this up with, let's say, one of my favorite prime numbers, 11 dots. And I like the fact that they're shaking. It almost talks about this sort of instability. It's almost has some sort of, chemical structure feel to it that's unstable, and that there's no way that 11 dots can exist in this particular box. So it's a 2-1 machine. It seems like anytime there's 2 dots in the box, maybe something will happen to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just click on this button, and there's other buttons too, but
The magic wand.
The magic stick.
wand, the magic stick. Let's see what happens. Oh, and we had 2 dots just disappear from the rightmost box, but we have now one dot left in the box with the 2. And I know I'm going to keep doing this, but I don't want people to lose track of it. We started with 11, but we've got this funny code of 19. And it must be saying something true, but I'm going to skip over that for now. So I'm going to keep hitting that button. And you can see we're losing 2 more dots and 1 dot to the left. I'm going to accelerate this a little bit. They're still unstable. They want me to get to a stabilized state. And now, oh, finally, the right box is stabilized. No more shaking. 1 dot there, perfectly fine. But the box to the left is a bit antsy. It's got 5 dots. You can actually drag it too, so I can drag it. If I drag a, so now 2 dots disappeared. I'm down to 3, and I'll click it on again. And 1 more box stabilized, and now we got 1 last box, which needs 1 more explosion, and done. And there you go, 11 dots. We started with 11, and now we've got this funny kind of code 1011. Does anyone know what that could mean?
No idea what it means.
No idea what it means.
Maybe Mike knows, because Mike said that you chose his least favorite prime numbers. So maybe Mike can answer in the question in the chat room. Mike is doing it right now.
Yes.
Let's wait for the answer. So looks like 11 in base 2. Is it right?
11 in base 2, binary, yes.
Très
1
bien.
and 8, 9 and 4, très bien. 1 and 2, 1 and 1.
Ausgezeichnet, wunderbar.
And if you get tired of playing in base 2, we also have base 3. And all I've done is just clicked at the 3-1 machine. But look what it's saying. It's 31 is equal to 1011. Well, 127 plus 13 plus 1 is equal to 31. And kids can play with a 4-1 machine, a 5-1 machine, and it's like coming back home for comfort food. They can play with a 10-1 machine. Yes. So
1011 is 1011 in base 10.
Well, funny thing, huh? 1011 is 1011 in base 10. And this is just the alpha version. We're going to obviously make it much nicer, and it's going to be able to do multiplication, addition, subtraction, and division, algebra. I've seen the sneak peek of it. It's not going to be rolled out yet, but hold on to your hats.
Okay, I will tell the truth. I had a sneak peek at 6 a.m. this morning of the next version, and I saw not only a base 10 machine, I saw a base X machine with all sorts of weird polynomial divisions going on in a very natural visual way, just as simple as what's going on the screen now. The mechanics are stunning, absolutely beautiful. And I've heard there's even a sneak peek of a 3-2 machine.
Oh,
you know that.
I didn't even know that.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love base 1.5?
It was a secret until now.
Oh gosh! Don't count on Tanton to keep a secret.
So the way I'm going to end my part, I'm sure we'll have a couple minutes to these 30 minutes go by so quickly. This is what hopefully anybody around the world will wake up to in a couple of days. This is going to be the registration page. It'll appear on the www.theglobalmathproject.org site, and it's going to be, as Luke is going to explain, it's going to be pretty easy to log in, to register. It's going to take you less than 3 minutes, and this is the first visual that's going to introduce the world into the Exploding Dots experience during Global Math Week. So I'm going to let Luke just say a few words about it right now.
So thanks, Sunil. So I think we're going to be okay in this 30 minutes webinar. So I'm really proud of us because I know we can talk a lot. So good job. As you can see, all the images that Sunil showed you earlier, it was are all at the bottom. There's a clean and nice, clear design on it. The Exploding Dots logo also shows the exploding dots, like what it means. So we wanted it to be easy. You know, when you do something like, and that you want to bring 1 million students at the same place.
Million.
1 million. When you want to bring all these people, you need to make sure that it's going to be easy to access. So that was the first thought when we created it. So we want it to be quick, accessible, and like no-brainer. Once again, just few clicks. So what we did, when you click on the registration, so I want you to know that you will need to stay tuned on theglobalmathproject.org, because this page, landing page or registration page, will be released in the next days.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be live real soon.
I like to okay. So so in the next few days, this page will be connected to the globalmathproject.org. So Sunil, I want you to click on the register now. And
my pleasure.
Okay. So we're not going further than this. So does it work?
Well, let's see.
Okay.
There we go.
Maybe it's not. Okay, cool. So it's going to be really simple. It's a two-step registration. Okay, so you can use Facebook, or you can use Google connection, or you can use also just your email and your name. Obviously, after this step, you're going to be invited to join the newsletter. Why? Because obviously, we want to inform you of the new developments until October, so 10/10/2017. We want you to stay connected with us if we do any events close to you in your community, in your country, in your state. So we want you to be informed. So yeah, so the next step after choosing Facebook, Google, or your email login, you can just you will be invited to join our newsletter. And also, if you think that Global Math Project is that amazing and you want to have an impact in your community and join our family, I will invite you to apply to become a Global Math Project ambassador. It will be a pleasure for me and for the whole team to work with you. So
well
that's
said.
it about
Absolutely.
it. So that's the end of the presentation regarding the connection, the registration page.
Perfect. Thank you.
Fabulous. So exciting, so thrilling, and so real. This is actually happening. Global Math Week starts in 5 months and 30 days, and it's going to happen. We're going to bring joyful, uplifting mathematics to the world. What better way to start with that, with the story of Exploding Dots, and what better way to present that story than with the work of Scolab and this fabulous team of people here. Unbelievably proud of the work you've done, and so appreciative. So thank you very much.
Thank you, and thanks for the invite, by the way, and thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you both.
Oh.
Of
well,
course.
we had to bring you on. I mean, we have to have the most charming collaborators to put a face to the Global Math Project Exploding Dots, because if you're a part of this, you can only be so happy. So we want the happiest people to be part of this. So thank you so much, Luke, for coming on today.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Before we leave, guys, I just wanted to make sure that you tell people where they can connect with you on Twitter, on Facebook, social media, and maybe if they want to learn more about Scholar or NetMath, because you've talked about that earlier. So I would like to invite you to tell people where to connect with you.
One of the best place to follow us, all of us, is on Twitter. So I'm gonna give you some @ to follow on Twitter. So you have @Global Math Proj, so PROG. You have also @James Tenton. You will have also @Math Garden. You will have, okay, my name is a little bit more complicated, but it's @Luc Goudreau. I'm going to write it down in the chat room after that. If you want to see what Scholab has been doing for the last 13 years, I will strongly invite you to go see our development. You will have netmat.ca if you are in Canada, and you will have buzzmat.com, sorry, in United States. Obviously, because of the worldwide project of Global Map Project, there will be soon a netmat.com for the other continents in the world, so they can enjoy our design and our content.
Fabulous.
Super.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Luc. Anything else to add, guys?
Nope, just another great webinar, and one more webinar down, closer to October.
Getting there
Excellent.
pretty fast. All right. Thank you very much. Have a great evening, everyone. I'll leave a few seconds for Luc to type in some things in the chat. So attendees, if you want to have a look at that.
I'm pretty quick,
Luc?
you'll see.
He is very quick. He's so accurate. He's got it all in his head. He's
he's-
right on top of things.
And the last one. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mike. It was a pleasure having you in this webinar.
Yes, thank you indeed. Real
Thank
joy.
you so much. Okay.
All right.
Thanks,
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Goodbye.